Like a 20 out of 20 is very hard.
Yes,
you were saying.
it is very hard because it means that it's perfect.
Yeah.
Here an A doesn't mean that it's perfect. It's just like you worked for it, you did a good job, here's an A.
Servus und hallo.
Bonjour.
Today we have Katia here. Katia is from France.
Oui, oui.
So she's again not an international, an exchange student here. And we've also talked about the French education system or the French university system. So Katia, what are like some major difference to the United States?
It's not as expensive.
Is it free?
Almost. With certain conditions. So for example, I pay about 200 per year. And I know that people who have parents like in the low middle class, like depends on the parents' income, they pay less. So, or like almost free, like depends like where you stand. So yeah, but it's basically free because like what I pay is like just for social security. So
yeah, our
government subsidizes most of the cost of, for the university.
Okay, but like what exactly is included? Is it like the tuition fees, or is it also housing and meals that is kind of free?
Okay, so like for example, like in the US, like it's like the whole campus, dorms, and you have the cafeteria. But like in France, we don't have that. We don't have dorms on campus. So like usually, you have to find an apartment. So like there's like student apartments. And for example, if you qualify for like student housing, it means that like you know like you financially cannot like find an apartment by yourself. So like there is like buildings they will like give the students like a housing. It's not free, but it's like a much less cost than like if you would like go ahead and do it by yourself, like.
So but it's not the usual procedure that like most first year students live in a dorm?
No.
That's interesting.
No.
Okay.
Like first year, like you can like if you have the money, if your parents like have money, and if you have the money, you can just live by yourself in an apartment. They can be near the university, can be downtown. Like you, it's your choice. Like it's your problem to like commute and like do your stuff. So it's like you choose whatever you want. It's just like if you have less money, then the university / government, because it's the same, right? They like take care of your housing, but it's still not on campus. Like you have a small kitchen, you have like, and you do whatever you want. There's no like RAs like here. Like you just do your life. Like you're more independent than here, I feel like. So for the best and the worst, right?
Okay. And also like, because like here in the States they have like also a large amount of like different kind of like scholarships where you can like get scholarships from a certain university. Does that exist in France?
Okay, so because right now we're talking about public universities, so no, because like technically the tuition is free. Yeah. But like if you study abroad, there is different kind of like financial aids. But like if you go to like a private school for like business or like, what is it, like not medical, but something like that, like you have like different scholarships there. But I feel like not as much as here. It's not the same like business. It's pretty different. I feel like it's not like that. Yeah.
And also like here in the States you have like mostly these courses, and you do like constant assignments, sometimes paper, and often you have like a midterm and a final exam. Is this something that does work similar in France, or is it like completely different structure?
Okay, once again, for public universities it is completely different, because like 75% of our final grade is the final exam. And so the 25, like the rest of the 25 is like not for every class, but for example, like I know like in English, like oral English, it would be like presentations in group, or like participation, that would count in the 25. Okay, no, my bad, like bad example. But for example, in writing English, like you have like maybe a paper to do in the group, so that will count 25%. But then at the end of the year, you would have a final exam that will be written, but that will count 75% of your grade. So basically, just like you can miss the classes the whole semester, as long as you study for your exams and make it. Nobody cares.
Okay.
So that's pretty different, because like here there's policy for attendance. I mean, there is also in France like not in auditoriums, but like in like smaller classes, like you need to be present. But I don't know how you know, like how strict it is or not. So, but like even if you go, like most of the people just like stay on their phones and don't work.
Okay.
So, but like there's a lot of different people. Like there's some people they don't go to classes.
Yeah.
And they just work like a month before exams and like they just make it.
Yeah.
And there's some people they just work throughout the semester and like they still make it. Sometimes don't, but it's like different methods, you know.
Yeah. How big are the usual like class sizes? Like how many people are in one lecture or course usually? But maybe it also depends, right?
Yeah, it depends on like, okay, so I know for languages, for example, so we have one of the like more like we have the biggest like kind of first years, because like usually languages is seen as like, oh, I don't know what to do after high school, I'll just do languages, you know. But people drop out because like they don't realize that like English level like in languages like so high compared to like high school. But anyways, that's not the question. Like, so I know for example the year after mine was like the biggest class, and like they needed like 4 groups for auditoriums. Like it was more than 1,000 people just in the first year.
Okay.
So like they need to like put the people in auditoriums. Like at the beginning of the year everybody sits like in the stairs because like there's no space left.
I understand. Okay.
And then like smaller classes, like about 30, but like it's the same. Like you go September, like the auditoriums are full. You come like mid-October, it's half empty. Like it's like.
And so an auditorium basically is where the teacher just like tells lectures and tells stuff, but there's no like interactive part. Like
sometimes, but it's like mostly like just a question, but like nobody answers. So.
Okay, I understand. Okay. Well, that's very different. And also, I think you mentioned once when we were talking before that like you have like a whole day courses. Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone is going, from what I understood, but
yeah. Okay, so if you like follow the traditional schedule, so as a first year you have like about 22 or 25 hours per week. And so it depends, like for example you can like have no classes and then you have just a class from like 3 to 5, or like there's some days like you can have a class at 8 and finish at 8. Like I had some classes that were finishing at 8 p.m.
Okay.
And like some people would say like the whole day, but like then the day after they don't have classes like the whole morning or the whole afternoon.
Okay.
But like when you move to the 3rd year, so the last year of the bachelor degree, like your work week is like between 30 and 35 hours of work per week. But that goes like kind of like as the difference with the US is like there's less hours of classes, but like you work a lot outside of it to like do your papers, do your homework, do all this stuff. But like in France it's just like you show up in classes. If you like just show like if you come every day in classes and don't miss classes, auditoriums or anything, you usually like and you like study a minimum, just a minimum, like just minimum, like you will make it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Like,
but it's not, I don't know, okay, maybe I misunderstood the part because I thought that you were saying it's more like a work day. You go there at like 9.
It's 30-35 hours per week.
Yeah, and then
classes.
Yeah, but then you still need to do the homework outside of the classes.
The thing is, no, because it's not that much homework. Like there's no homework.
Okay.
Unless like maybe like you have a group presentation, but it's like so rare and like, it's like not in every from what for this year I feel like it was a little bit harder, but I wasn't here because like I see some people messaging each other in our group. Yeah. And like they talk about like they need to do a website. I think it was in group, so like there might be a little more group work, but still like the main like you cannot do the group work or like fail it. But like if you like just nail the final exam, it's fine. You got it. But what I'm saying is like at the final exam, like people know that like teachers know that people miss classes. Okay. So like they don't expect that much. Yeah. Like if they can see that you just show up your face, that you like know a minimum about their class, like they will not give you like an amazing grade out of 20, but like you will get a 10. Or like even a 9, like which is fine. Like
how much do grades actually matter in France? Because like here I feel like many people do really care about getting an A or like an A+ or like really good grades. Like does it matter in France that much?
I mean, also a difference. I feel like here it's like easier to get good grades. Like you just need to be invested in it.
Okay.
Like that's what I feel like. You just need to like maybe show up once or twice at an office hours, like do your homework regularly, like do the readings and like just give your work on time. And like pretty easy, like participating class, and like it's pretty easy to get an A. Like you just need to just work a little bit, like okay, not just a little bit, but like it's not that hard. Like you just have to work for it. But like in France, I feel like no matter how hard you work, it's so hard to get a 20 out of 20. It's like almost impossible. So like
20 is the best grade kind of thing.
The best grade, and you need a 10 to pass the class, or to get your semester you need a how it's called, like an average of 10. So like if I get 15 in English and I get 5 in econ, I still make it through my year. Basically. So it's important, but it's just like people. So like it's funny because like as like you grow up, like you go through like different, like, you know, elementary, then like it's like, oh, it matters a lot, like it's easier to get 20. But then when you move to middle school and like high school, it's like, oh, like I need to get a 15, you know, like I need to get at least like more than 12. But then like in university, it's like just like, oh, I just want a 10. Like I just want to pass. Like I don't care. I just want to pass. You know what I'm trying to say?
Understand. And so like the 20, do people actually make a 20? Are there people who have like, I don't know, grades that are all 20? Does something like that exist?
All 20, no, never. Because like you have 15 classes, so to have 20 everywhere, it's not possible. But like, you know, it's funny because like.
So sorry, you have 15 classes per semester.
I mean, approximately, something like that. Because like, for example, like I have English civilization, I have English, like written English, I have oral English, I have all the same for Russian, all the same for Japanese, I have like a law, like econ, so like about like 12, 15, depends the semester.
So it's very different here, because here you have 4 or 5 classes. Depends also on the school a little bit, but on the credits. So, the battery, we ran okay, so we ran out of battery, but we are back again. So like a 20 out of 20 is very hard. You were saying
it is very hard because it means it is perfect. Here an A doesn't mean that it's perfect. It's just like you worked for it, you did a good job, here's an A. But in France, a 20 means that you have no mistakes, that your content is good, that your form is good, like how you constructed it, like your organization, everything like perfect. So like most of the people, like what is considered a good grade is above 10, but like what is considered like pretty good grades, like 13 and above. What is considered very good is like 16 and above.
Did you ever talk to people who went to France and back, like as an international student? Never. Because like I'm wondering how to do it, like how do they transfer the grades? Because it would be very, I don't know. I mean, it would be very unfair if they only translate like a 20 into an A here. It's like not comparable in any way.
But I saw some websites like, they put different stuff. But like for example, like I saw one website they put A's between 14 and 20. So that gives like a big like, and I feel like it's kind of appropriate. So like what I see here, I feel like it's like between a 14 and a 20. But like in France, it's like 6 points. Like it's so big, you know. Like it's such a big difference between a 14 and a 20, you know. But like in the US, like if you take the scale, it's like the same basically.
Well, that's not too bad. So maybe going abroad still pays us off. And probably this for your CV as well.
You should go abroad.
I mean, but you can also go to Austria, just say.
But France is better.
No. We'll do some promotion in another video. Okay, anything you want to add?
No.
Are you from France, or have you been thinking about going abroad to France in order to study there? If so, let us know in the comments. And you know, if you liked our video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give us still a thumbs up.
If you like France, give it a thumbs up. Okay,
bad
idea.
Oh, well, or Austria, you know, it's fine. Or States. Anyways, so thanks so much for watching, and we'll see each other in the next video where we talk about cultural differences and what the United States can learn from France and the other way around. So stay tuned. Bye.
Yay.